Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Double T British Kennels. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
I talked to several people this weekend that had Double T British Kennel dogs coming to them at a later date.
Well, good. So, good for them.
A couple of them got some puppies coming.
Corey does a great job.
A few of them have their dogs in the program already with Corey, so good stuff.
Hats off to Corey at Double T. Great guys, great dogs, great people, great person. Check them out.
How's that ivermectin working for you?
Well, first you're trying to be a smart ass now.
No. I'm genuinely concerned about you because you and Tony famously have proclaimed on this podcast that hadn't been sick since you started taking ivermectin. I am going to call you on your bullshit because this is not the first time you've been sick in 4 years. First, Tony started. He got the sneezes when we crossed the Red River in Oklahoma on Thursday. Headed to SquadFest, which was a fantastic weekend. We'll get off into that. So that was Thursday. Got the sniffles. Got the chills. Couldn't go Friday morning to SquadFest. He was too sick. And then all of a sudden you got it, and now myself have got this allergy, this contagious allergy that you and Tony have. So I'm glad y'all take ivermectin.
Since I've been taking ivermectin, I have avoided any serious flus and everything else everyone else has had around here. I have had a sore throat and allergies before. It got me down again on Saturday. I stayed all day Saturday. I was not feeling well with allergies. I was miserable Saturday. Saturday night, I went to bed about 8 o'clock, had chills all night, slept. I drove home. Did not feel good yesterday. Went to Jameson's birthday party at the pool.
Big curmudgeon over there.
Did not feel good then. Still do not feel 100%, but feel a little bit better today. I took some ivermectin a minute ago.
Good.
But I've been taking Dayquil. Excuse me. It's just allergies. It's just
it's contagious allergies somehow.
You don't think it's allergy? What do you think we have?
COVID. You got the vid or a cold or the flu.
I feel better now. I feel better today than I did yesterday.
You're not going to get river blindness because of ivermectin, so that's one positive.
Yes.
I'm happy for you.
I'm going to continue to tell people to take ivermectin.
Continue
I think
to
it's
do
good
it.
stuff.
Continue to do it. It's worked.
Well, no, you come on here trying to make me look like an asshole.
I'm not trying to make you look like an ass. I'm just...
You did.
I'm concerned about your health.
Well, it was a miserable 12-hour drive or 10-hour drive home, I'm telling you there. But I did it, and we're home.
You didn't offer the wheel to anybody else.
We'd still be driving the way y'all drive, slow as hell. Now, your father-in-law told me yesterday that you drive really fast.
I do drive fast. That's a.
I didn't notice. I've never noticed that because you're always behind me.
85 or 90 everywhere I go.
He told me, boy, sure, Andy sure drives fast.
I do.
Because he goes, why didn't you let one of them drive? I said, we'd still be in the middle of Oklahoma with as slow as they drive. If you drive faster than Andy, I'm not ever riding with you. And he has rode with me before.
That is I have figured out what it is. Back a long time ago, I had no money to pay for a ticket.
So now you have money, so you don't mind speeding.
I've got a little bit of resources now, so if I get a ticket, it's just. Brian Richter said it best a couple years ago when he was on here. It's just a tax if you look at it. That's all. It's a tax for driving fast.
That's a very good way.
And I don't think
what you add is on your insurance. That's what sucks.
Right. I don't think we saw but about 2 cops the whole trip.
I don't. Yeah, maybe we did. There was not very many policemen working this weekend.
It's a busy weekend. They got other stuff to do.
Well, the roads in Oklahoma are the worst roads in America.
Awful.
I don't give a shit if you're on the back roads in Oklahoma or you're on their turnpike. Their turnpike roads are horrible. And I don't ever pay my turnpike deals. I just go. My theory is on this shit, if you don't want to have somebody out there collecting my money, then kiss my ass. I'm not paying them. I'm in my new pickup, and on the back of it where it's got the stuff, it's rained, and so they can't see who it is. So I don't even know if they know who the hell I am.
Well,
anyways.
your paper tags are out too, by the way.
Well, I've got to put my regular tags on there at the house.
Yeah, you need to get to that. They went out the 4th.
I know, but I don't give a shit. They send me a bill in the mail. Lady called me not long ago, and she's like, "You have $212 for toll taxes for the Dallas Metroplex area for the last 7 years, and you've not paid them." I said, "That's right." "Well, sir, would you like to take care of them today?" I said, "No, I'm not paying them. What do you mean you're not paying them? I said, I'm not paying the damn things. We will turn them into a credit agency. I said, I just bought a new pickup, so I really don't think the credit agency really gives two shits if my credit goes down a little bit because I'm not paying your taxes. You want to collect them? Stand out on the road. And I would do that on all that shit. Same with fucking property taxes and everything else. It's bullshit.
What do you mean? You got to pay your property taxes.
I have to pay it. I do.
Yeah.
But it's not like if all I was worried about was them turning it in on my credit report, I'd tell them to kiss my ass also. I am tired of being taxed like most Americans are. They tax us on freaking everything, and I'm sick of it. You're not tired of taxes?
What do you mean?
You're not sick of paying taxes on shit all the time?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's just
it's
getting
better
worse.
than me getting thrown in jail.
I understand that. If it come down to that, I'd pay the fine. But it's just terrible the way they just overtax us on everything.
And we have nothing to show for it.
No,
we're the most taxed society fucking on the planet. Nothing to show for it. Roads are still shitty.
What part of our infrastructure is great? Nothing.
No, nothing. Not a bit of it. Not a bit of it.
They pay tax. You pay taxes on your electric bill.
Really?
Yes, everything's taxed. Every freaking thing you do is taxed.
Yeah.
Everything. You go buy fucking groceries, taxed.
Taxed.
You go buy gasoline, it's taxed. If you sell the oil on your property and they pump it off, they tax you for that. Then they turn it into gasoline and they tax you again. They tax you on everything, and I'm like everybody in America. I'm sick of being fucking taxed. And then I hear the story. Well, if you move to the Netherlands, their tax rate is 47% for everything.
But it's a flat tax.
Clean, blah, blah, this. Well, yeah, because they don't have to pay for a fucking military because they're pussies, and America's going to protect them.
Yeah. What do you think of, not to make this too political, RFK has said he would cut the defense budget by 50% and put more of that work, like you said, to work in other places.
I don't really have a problem with that. I don't think
50% seems like an awfully big.
We waste a lot of fucking money in the military.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that, but
if you had a good comptroller, I'll give you an example. We have an old school superintendent in our area that's tighter than fucking bark on a tree.
Yeah.
I'd give him the job as a fucking comptroller for the military because he would do good at that. He's really good with money. We don't agree on shit most of the time on eye to eye on stuff. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, he would be good. The guy who runs our hospital up here is tighter and shit too. He does a really good job with a minimal budget.
Right.
Somebody like that could go into the military. They could wipe out so much shit that they spend way too much money on. Now, I don't know if I'd decrease the budget. What I would do is I'd keep their budget the same, cut out all that spending, and then give the soldiers more money. That's what I would do. I would keep the budget the same, but I would give the soldiers a lot more money. I would make it where people want to be in our military and stay in for 20 years instead of serving their 4, 6, whatever it is, and getting the fuck out. I would fix it where, listen, Payne is fixing to get out of the military. He can walk into a $100,000 a year job. Why would you stay in the military and make $30,000 a year or 36? It don't make sense. So I would fix that system. So I wouldn't cut out their budget, but I would fix their budget. And one of the things I would do was to pay the soldiers more money. But we have a lot of government waste.
Right. But I think what he's saying is if we cut it in half, then we're not gonna be the world's police anymore.
No, we shouldn't be.
Cut it in half, take care of the shit we got to take care of, and nothing else.
Yeah, let them fuckers in Netherlands and stuff pay their fair share,
right,
and do their stuff. As I get older, I'm sure I'm calloused over on a lot of things, but I really don't give a fuck if the people in Ukraine are speaking Russian. I really don't. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't care. I don't care if France has to speak German again. I really do not. And it's not our position to make sure everyone else is okay and then we suffer over here.
Right.
I want to be a good neighbor. Let's be honest with you. Canada would not be Canada anymore if they weren't attached to the United States.
Somebody would have come in and rolled them.
Mexico's the same way. Best thing they have to do is they have us as a neighbor that can protect them. There's no doubt the Canadian military is a lot stronger than the Mexican military is. 100%. I agree with that. I don't have nothing against anybody in Canada. I've got a lot of Canadian friends. They're nice friends. But it's not our job to protect everyone all over the world.
Right.
It's just not, and I'm tired of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, part of the reason that I would be in favor of protecting Canada and Mexico is you don't want riffraff north and south.
That's what I said.
We have a vested interest in making sure that they are okay.
But the reason,
which, I mean, you got the fucking cartel in Mexico, so how good are they?
But they're safe because they're attached to us. If it wasn't for them being attached to us, they would have had some battles and people tried to take them over between now and the last 150 years.
I got the quote right here. An independent candidate says he would reverse the nation's decay by cutting the military budget by half in his first 3 years of office, with additional reductions in the future, and use the savings to bolster domestic programs and the economy. Which I don't know what our defense budget is, so that would be the next thing I'd have to find.
Probably not as much as we spent to Ukraine. And I'm not being a smart ass. I'm serious. I'll bet we've spent Ukraine more money than our military budget.
841 billion. So no, not quite.
How much did we send in Ukraine?
Like 60 billion, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it's a lot more than that.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's way too much. If it's $10, it's too much.
Yeah. DOD operates under an $841 billion budget.
Well, first thing I'd do is slash out a lot of that bullshit stuff that we spend money on.
You figure you could do a lot with $420 billion.
Yes, you could do a whole lot.
I mean, 841, that's a big number.
We're gonna touch on some politics because we have to right now. We had a huge moment in our history happened yesterday. Our president is not going to run for office no more. No one's heard from him now in 24 hours.
Right.
Completely not heard from him.
Cleared his schedule.
He should resign as president of the United States this week.
I agree.
He probably won't, but he should. If he's not competent enough to be on the campaign trail campaigning, or if he would have just said, I'm not going to run 6 months ago and was being president, I had no problem with that. But he's not competent. And they said, well, he come to this tough decision. He didn't come to this decision. He don't know what he's doing. And we all know that. Now, something horrible has gone on in our democracy. Mm-hmm. The Democrats didn't have a primary because they this is a plan. You're going to have a hard time telling me this isn't a plan. They rolled him out there on that debate to get rid of him. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, 100%.
So this is all a planned deal. They did not want to have a primary section because they don't want Robert F. Kennedy as their nominee.
Right.
And he would have been their nominee. Mm-hmm. If he would have been an ever primary deal, he might have beat Biden in some states even. If he would have got a fair shot.
Yeah.
They had two plans for him. They were going to Clintonize his ass. That's why they didn't give him Social Security or Secret Service.
Robert.
Yes. Or they wanted to keep him off the circuit like they did, and that's what they've done. He should be the legitimate candidate for the Democrats. We should have Trump versus Kennedy right now coming. It should be.
He still might.
No, it's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, they know what they're doing. They already planned that. That's why they came out and they had his family roll over on him. You can't back that up now.
But I mean, like you said, it's going to be a tightrope walk for Biden to make the case that he's not competent enough to seek re-election, but he's competent enough to keep the job for the next 4.5 months.
No, they're going to put Kaplan-Box in. She's going to be president by August 15th.
I think that's the play. If you're going to endorse her and make her the candidate, you get Biden out of the way. Get Biden out of the way August 1 or whatever. Give her a couple of cheap victories, couple of cheap political victories. She could shut the border down. I don't know. Pick something else. Have a couple cheap wins that are easy to do, and then be like, look at what I've done in the 4 months that I've been president. We got the border shut down. We did this and we did this. Get 3 wins, whatever they are, and then she's got a platform to run on against Trump. I don't know, but this convention, if you look at everything that's happened. You have the earliest debate that I've ever known of in June. They pushed the convention back 3 weeks to August because I think it was supposed to be coming up like maybe next week.
Yeah, I think there's 2 states, Wisconsin and somebody else, have already got their ballots printed.
Right. So after the debate, they pushed the convention back 3 weeks, and that was all to get Kamala's ducks in a row.
Yep.
Get her a campaign committee. Get her, figure out how you're going to transfer that money over to her because from what we heard yesterday, it's not going to be as easy as...
It's not just her signing a check over.
Right.
No.
Like, all that money is kind of tied to him more than it is to her.
Yeah, but she's on the SEC filing. That's the only thing that she has. Her name's on there.
Right.
But it's not an easy deal. But what's really weird about that thing is Obama did not endorse her.
He didn't.
They want a puppet for his 4th term. Well, folks, if you're living in fantasy land and you don't realize this, Barack Obama's behind the scenes been running this shit for the last 4 years. And that's why it's a shit show. He was a horrible president. And if you're black and listening to this, and we have a lot of black listeners, 'cause I got a lot of black friends that listen to this, he was elected because of his skin color. I hate to tell you this, and if you don't believe that, that's the way it is. That's why they elected Barack Obama, because of his skin color. He was a terrible president. He did nothing for black people. He did nothing for Americans. He's a Muslim sympathizer. And I'm going to stick to that till I die. You're going to have a hard time convincing me. He's very charismatic and probably a very likable man. I'll give you that. I don't have, but he doesn't understand America. He wasn't raised in America, and that's not one of these birth certificate deals. I don't know where the fuck he was born at, and I really don't care. But he does not understand America like we grew up in. He was raised in Indonesia. That's a known fact. He was elected because of his skin color. He's ran things the last 4 years, and they're terrible. He is behind all of this shit to run off Biden because they couldn't control Biden and they knew Biden was going to lose. I think Kamala's going to lose in epic fashion too. Anybody that's had anything to do with this administration is going to lose. It's a freaking shit show. California Governor Newsom's a name thrown around. His state's in free fall in a shit show. He's not going to win. The Democrats don't have anybody out there that can beat Trump in a fair election. I mean, we had the most popular president ever, 81 million votes, supposedly, which he had 81 million. There's no doubt about it, but I don't know, but about 50 million of them probably were legit. But he had 81 million votes, and then you're just going to push him off to the side like nobody matters. It's all bullshit. There's something done. They done away with the primary process. They do not want the Democratic voters voting for who they want. They want it to be someone that they want. And if you're an American citizen and you vote Democrat, you're a fucking fool to think that they're on your side, because they're not.
Well, the same reason Bernie dropped out in 2020.
Oh, that's the stupidest one ever. Why would the man winning or Pete Buttigieg drop out?
Right.
Because they were all bought and paid for. Every one of them.
So, I mean, they kind of did it then.
Yeah, this has been set in play the whole time. The only reason Trump won is because they wasn't expecting it.
In 2016?
In 2016, they could not cheat enough to win.
Right.
They had it all figured out, and it didn't work. And now we're at the same. And then they cheated in 2020. They figured out this COVID. Let's put COVID on everybody. We can do mail-in ballots, and we can win an election. And they did. And they fucked our country up. Our country's so screwed up right now. We can't go through 4 more years of this. And you're going to have a hard time convincing me that they weren't behind July 13th. I listened to something today on their. I listened to them talking to this woman today. The questions they were going to ask her, and she does not answering nothing. Of course, doesn't show up with anything. She doesn't do anything they've asked her to do. This committee, they did not metal detector people coming into this event.
Really?
That's what I heard on the radio today. I was going to look this up, and I did not have a chance yet. And I was going to call some people that were there that I know and ask them if they did. How the hell can you not do that if they didn't do that? That surely had to be wrong. You can't even go to public school without having to go through a metal detector.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and how lax everything was, and her cutting out his deal, it was all part of the master plan. They were going to pull a JFK.
They're going to try to.
Yeah, they did. It was just the luck of God. You know, God intervened, and he moved his head at the right time, or he wouldn't be here today. And the world we live in today would be completely different.
Oh, yeah.
We would not have been at SquadFest. There would be mass riots and shooting. It wouldn't be. The people always want to make the riot out to be these extreme people. I haven't seen anybody burn down a building or do anything since all this happened. If this would have been Barack Obama that this happened to, there'd be fires in the streets and parades, and the media would be building up all this stuff. We don't do it on our side.
Right.
But if they would have taken him out, it would have been a different world we live in. And they would have known who they have a problem with in this country, and they would have had a serious problem. Gun people are not a problem. We've got trillions of bullets and guns. If there was a problem with us, you'd know about it.
Everybody's saying it's still going to be Big Mike.
No, there's no way.
Vivek just said it.
Yeah, I don't care who said. She don't want nothing to do with that office because she's going to have to answer a lot of hard, serious questions. Lots of questions. They're going to try to smooth it over and not, but there's just a lot of things about that family that's going to come out if she runs again. They're not getting a free pass. They're not.
I guess they've already got that Cheeto lady up there. Let's see what she says. Why is it not working? What have I got going on here? Bluetooth. It says it's connected. Why do we not hear anything? What's going on? Hang on, people. Technology's kicking my ass today. Do it.
Up to that day. Let's start with the building that the shooter used to shoot President Trump from. At any point Saturday, did the Secret Service have an agent on top of that roof?
Sir, I'm sure, as you can imagine, that we are just 9 days out from this incident, and there's still an ongoing investigation. And so I want to make sure that any information that we are providing to you is factual.
You can't, okay. Why did the Secret Service not, can you answer why the Secret Service didn't place a single agent on the roof?
We are still looking into the advanced process and the decisions that were made.
Okay. wasn't that building within the perimeter that should be secured? Do we agree with that?
The building was outside of the perimeter on the day of the visit.
150 yards.
But again, that is one of the things that during the investigation we want to take a look at and determine whether or not other decisions should have been made.
One of the things that you said, I believe, in an interview, that there wasn't an agent on the roof because it was a sloped roof. Is that normal, and do you fear that that immediately creates an opportunity for future would-be assassins to look for a slanted roof? I mean, this is a huge question that every American has. Why wasn't a Secret Service agent on the roof? And there have been reports that agents were supposed to be on the roof, but it was hot that day and they didn't want to be on the roof. Can you answer any of those questions, Director?
So I appreciate you asking me that question, Chairman. I should have been more clear in my answer when I spoke about where we placed personnel in that interview. What I can tell you is that there was a plan in place to provide overwatch, and we are still looking into responsibilities and who was going to provide overwatch. But the Secret Service in general, not speaking specifically to this incident, when we are providing overwatch, whether that be through counter snipers or other technology, prefer to have sterile rooftops.
Did the Secret Service use any drones for surveillance that day?
So again, I'm not going to get into specifics of that day in itself, but there are times
That's a no.
Yes.
during a security plan that the Secret Service does deploy an asset like a drone.
There were reports that the shooter used a drone just a few hours before the rally start time. Is that accurate?
I have heard those same reports, and again, am waiting for the final report.
Do you know, if you can't answer the question, that's your answer. But can you answer this? Do you know, I'm not asking yes or no, but do you know if the shooter used a drone before the shooting?
That information has been passed to us from the FBI.
So he did.
How many Secret Service agents were assigned to President Trump on the day of the rally?
Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the numbers of personnel that we had there, but we feel that there was a sufficient number of agents assigned.
There are reports that several agents assigned to the rally on July 13th were temporary agents not normally assigned to President Trump. Is that accurate?
What I can tell you is that the agents that were assigned to former President Trump are Secret Service agents that provide close protection to him, and that was what was actual on that day.
How many temporary agents were there that day?
Quite frequently, sir, during campaign events, the Secret Service utilizes agents from HSI or the Department of Homeland Security.
You don't know how many?
Supplement
you can't answer?
our plan.
Have the investigators reconstructed the shooter's precise movements over the past days, weeks, and months?
So, again,
We need to have confidence that if the FBI is leading this investigation, that they're leading a credible investigation, because there's some of us sitting up here today that don't have a lot of confidence in the FBI.
Amen, brother.
So I will repeat the question. Have the investigators reconstructed the shooter's precise moments over the past days, weeks, and months?
I understand your question, Chairman, and I share your concerns about wanting to make sure that we have factual information. The FBI is conducting a criminal investigation. The Secret Service is conducting an internal investigation. There are a number of OIG investigations, and there is the external investigation that the President
Last question for me. Before July 13th, had the Trump detail requested additional resources?
What I can tell you is that for the event on July 13th, the details that were the assets that were requested for that day were given.
With reserve officers.
Yeah, it's this. He said it exactly what everybody thinks. Nobody has faith in the FBI.
Right.
None at all. And he's 100% correct on that. She was given a job because she had a vagina. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the bottom line. This DEI shit don't work.
No.
You want to fucking teach you want to do DEI stuff, and I can't even think of any position out there that you would hire someone based on their gender, who they sleep with, or what color they are. Not one job out there. And we live in a world full of it.
Well, Kamala's going to be the first.
She was
black,
not even close to being the best person to be picked as a VP.
but she's going to be the first black woman president, and she's put in there because of DEI.
Yes. And let's talk about Kamala Harris. Let's talk about her. What is Kamala's background?
She was a prosecutor.
How did Kamala get her job?
Well, if you
She was
listen to
dating a
Judge
married man.
If you listen to Judge Joe Brown, she was a frat whore, according to Judge Joe Brown.
I'm trying to be nice here and polite.
That's what he
respectful.
said.
She's
Those
a
aren't
vice
my
president, but he's right. But she got her way up there by having skinned up knees, supposedly. She was openly dating a married man, Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco. That's what he was married and she was dating him.
Right.
They want to talk about Trump and all the bullshit he did. Here's the lady that was doing the dirty work that Trump was getting serviced on that they talk about all the time.
Right.
But is she going to pull the Sharon Stone and she's just a poor victim?
Right.
I mean, that's Kamala Harris. That's what she is. She was Montel's girlfriend, and he had another chick too. They were part of a threesome deal. So don't act like she's some kind of great person she wants your granddaughter to be like, or your daughter, because nobody wants her daughter or granddaughter to be Kamala Harris.
Right.
I mean, that's how she got to where she is. She is not qualified to do what she did. Honestly, there are some really, really, really smart people out there that are completely opposite of the way I think politically, but they're smart people. You just think, what the fucking educated idiot over there? But they just think, but they're smart. She's not that lady. She doesn't seem sharp to me at all.
Not at all.
And she can't speak. I can't speak, but I'm not running for vice president or president. She has I could beat her in a debate. I really believe that. I could debate her to death. There's no doubt. I would get her so fucking frustrated in the first 10 minutes, she'd tell me to fuck off and walk off the stage. She's terrible. She's not going to be president. But is she black? Or is she Indian or whatever she is? She's got 14,000 different kinds of blood in her.
I think I heard Jamaican.
Yeah.
Jamaican?
She has lady parts that Michelle Obama don't have.
Right.
So that helped her out.
Right.
And she checked some boxes. So they made her a vice president. Nobody else would pick someone to run for vice president that was running for president and had less than 1%. There's no way. She didn't add anything to the deal. She did not come from a state that was a swing state where you needed them votes from.
Right.
All she did was check the boxes of all that other shit.
Yeah.
They thought that they could keep Biden propped up on tranquilizers and shit for 8 years and let Obama ruin our country for 8 years. Well, it failed. And they figured out he was in bad shape and it was going to come out before the election. They rushed him out real quick to get this done because if this debate would have happened in the middle of September, they'd have been stuck with him.
Whew.
And they knew that. So that's why they did this shit early. And looking back now, best thing we could have done is for Trump not to debate him until September, like a normal situation would have been.
Right.
Would have been the best thing ever. But Trump wanted to debate him and talk about things. Well, now we're stuck where we are. But that's why she's there. And now she's going to be the Democratic nominee for president probably. But Obama hasn't endorsed her, and that's one thing that makes me wonder if they're going to try to slide someone else in. But I don't think that they could do it and overlook her. And now Joe Manchin thinks he wants to re-enter and join the Democratic Party and maybe run for president. Well, if I was a Democrat, that would piss me off. Wouldn't it you?
Yeah. You left and now you're back.
Yeah, you didn't want to be part of us when it come to voting, and you didn't like the way we voted, but then you want to be the leader of our party.
Right.
And I really, honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, if Joe Manchin and Donald Trump ran for president and they cheated enough for Joe Manchin to become president, because that's the only way they're going to win, I wouldn't be near as sick as I would be of a lot of people, because he seems to be pretty moderate on a lot of things he does.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, this next month is going to be a roller coaster.
Do you think they fire her?
Oh, yeah.
I think she resigns probably this week.
Yeah, she's gone.
Terrible job. If they did not want people getting into that deal,
right,
this is going to be as big of a cover-up as JFK.
The 13th? Or
Yes.
just this whole Biden?
The whole situation that we're doing. We are living the Kennedy assassination all over at a different level. We had a former president that almost got killed. That's going to probably be our next president. I mean, came within centimeters of dying. Mm-hmm. Then you've got all this shit with Joe Biden pushing him out of office, not letting the people choose who the candidate's going to be. So it's all one big thing that these 3,700.
It's a lot. I can't remember how many.
Those people are going to make a decision based on everybody, the 330 million people in America. Those 3,700 people are going to get a pick instead of letting the voters do it. I think that's a real issue.
Well, it'll be like it was before. What did I say? The first democratically elected president was Carter, I think, because before Carter, it was just
the convention figured out.
Yeah, this is who you got.
Yeah, then you didn't like them. You didn't have no choice. But I don't think anything good's going to come from this. if Trump wins, I think we're going to clean up a lot of shit, but I don't have a lot of trust in nobody around him. And just like the guy said about the FBI, that's a sitting member of Congress from Kentucky. And he said it 100% accurate the way most people feel. Most Americans do not have faith in the FBI. Zero. Like if you come in somewhere and you said, I'm an FBI agent, I thought, well, you're a crooked bastard. And I'm sure most of the field agents are really good guys.
Yeah.
But the people that run the FBI is trash. And I think the people that run the Secret Service are trash. The CIA, the IRS, all of them. It's the same.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Who do you think's going to be the nominee right now? Because you can change, because things are going to happen. I'm just on your gut right now. Who do you think's going to be?
So I agree with you. I feel like whatever Obama says is kind of what the way that they're going to go. Like I knew things were in trouble when Obama said, "Yeah, Joe needs to probably drop out." That was the first tell. Like, okay, there's something to this.
Yeah, calling me about a dove hunt. Let me get this.
Okay.
So, anyways,
I think it's too early to call. I think the party is going to go by however Obama thinks it should go, and he's not endorsing Kamala. So for that reason, I don't think it's going to be Kamala. However much the DNC really wants her to be it, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen an open convention for as long as I've kind of been paying attention to politics. So I don't know how that's going to be. Are you going to have rogue delegates that are just
I think they're free agents
throwing in whatever name they want? I know RFK a couple weeks ago said that he would be open to running on the Democratic ticket, but I don't know how you fix the smear campaign that you did on him a couple months ago.
You can't. They'll throw it in his face. I mean, you can with your Democratic voters, but your independents and stuff, you ain't going to get those people.
Right.
They're not going to vote. I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to help you in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Delaware State. You're already going to win anyways.
Right.
I don't know that there's going to be some disenfranchised Democratic voters. I don't give a shit where you're from, what state you're in. There's people that are like your grandparents, old moderate Democrats. They don't like the idea of them not getting to vote in a primary. And now you're going to run this person out here and that's our choice.
Right.
So I don't know if there'll be a lot of excitement about it. I don't know. I do not think, I think Kamala is that, I don't think they have no choice, but she's going to be the candidate. The Clintons endorsed her. The president endorsed her, but he don't know what he's doing. I mean, fuck, he could have Daffy Duck and nobody would know what he did. I mean, I don't.
Schumer, Pelosi, Obama, and Jeffries have not endorsed Kamala.
Yeah, and that's bad for her.
I mean, those are some big names in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and Pelosi's is fucking. She's Biden. She's fucking losing. She's dementia ridden too, just about. I don't know who it's. I don't know. I think it's gonna be Kamala. I think it'll be Kamala. I don't think they have anybody.
Well, and I've said this for a couple weeks now. I feel like they are conceding this election.
I think that's what's going on too.
And I don't think you want to roll out Newsom or Whitmer or there's somebody in Arizona that I think is
Mark Kelly, the astronaut, but he endorsed Kamala.
So I don't think that you want to burn somebody that you could run in 2028 in this election and throw him in August and be like, hey, good luck to you.
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about Trump in 2028 because he's done.
Right. So I think if you're looking at it from a strategic point, get Kamala up there, you know how she's going to shake out, and hope for a 2016 Trump surprise, which I don't think is going to come, but I don't think it would not make sense to burn your future with 3 months of preparation.
In the Democratic Party is a lot like the Republican Party. All their leaders are old fuckers.
Yeah.
Every one of them. You know, Hakeem Jeffries, he doesn't. New York's a shit show. Mm-hmm. He doesn't resonate well as to being a president. I don't know any young Democratic politicians because I don't pay attention to a lot. Like I don't know a lot of good Republican young candidates either that I think, well, that'd be a really good president in 2028. J.D. Vance guy might be it. He's got a hell of a pedigree. The more I find out about him, the more I like him. It's just, boy, it's a screwed up mess right now. But I think the Democratic Party is taking for granted their voting base. Mm. They have shit all over the black people for the last 60 years, and it's finally catching up to them. They shit on the Hispanics. They think opening the border up is going to make all the Mexicans happy, and it's been quite the opposite. They're not happy about that shit either.
Yeah.
And so they take people for granted all the time. Just like I think that all the Republicans take for granted people like me and you.
Yeah.
They're just, oh, well, we're going to vote for any Republican. I'm not voting for any Republican. I like Donald Trump. I would like someone that I think protects my interest and stuff. Mitch McConnell was running for president. I wouldn't vote. I ain't got no use for Mitch McConnell. Mitt Romney. I'm not going to battle for Mitt Romney.
Right.
So
I also think if you wait 4 more years, COVID will kind of be a distant memory, and
Yes.
and the bungling of California and Michigan will kind of be forgotten about a little bit. So I think that would be the time for. I think COVID is too fresh. We all see how much disarray is going on in California. Newsom would. I mean, all you got to do is point at how California is, and there's your argument against Newsom.
I can't imagine anybody would think that he'd be a good president or Gretchen Whitmer.
Right.
Her husband went and got in a fucking boat when she told everybody else they couldn't use a boat, but he was on the boat doing shit. There's no way that she should have got reelected.
So if you wait 4 more years to roll out somebody like that, maybe all that's in the past and nobody really remembers it. So I really, really feel like they know this election is lost and just throw out somebody and save your best for 2028.
Time is the best Band-Aid for stuff like that.
100%.
Get through times, things go away. And then it's every facet of life. People forgive and move on.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about SquadFest.
What a show.
Great time. Big turnout. Weather was nice. It was probably, I'm going to say it was 83, 84. It wasn't in the 70s, but it was probably low 80s every day. Weather was nice. Didn't rain.
Nope.
It was very, very nice. Big crowd, big turnout. A lot of people from the industry there. I had a great time.
Yeah. I mean, it's always, they give you free water. You know, I mean, you're not having to pay through the nose for basic necessities because, you know, you're out there on that asphalt. It gets hot and they make sure that water is donated. Calling contests all went off without a hitch. Congratulations to Robbie Iverson. Had a hell of a weekend. Won duck and goose. Corey Nickham won a contest in there. And yeah, I think the only thing that was like a kind of a pain in the ass was, I think, was Friday the cyber attack where all the credit card machines were starting to go down. So I think Dive-Bomb had some big sales going on all weekend, but I think their credit card machines were down to start the day on Friday. So, I mean, that's out of their control, obviously. But I think that was about the only thing that kind of was like an oh shit moment for them. But they recovered and it all worked out fine.
I'm going to tell you right now, Cody Stokes, I don't know who coordinates everything. I know Cody's got a big hand in it, and he's got right hand, left hand men. He's got Asher and a couple other people. But my gosh, that sucker is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They have every product in the world there, and you could buy their products at a discount of, was it 20% off?
It was a lot.
People stood in line 2.5 hours to buy their stuff.
Well,
I mean,
on
it was
Friday.
amazing. The line Friday was
Yeah.
crazy. People buying stuff. People were walking out with truckloads of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very well-organized event. I'm not real big on outdoor events, but that was really about as good a one. That's the best outdoor event I've ever been to in my entire life.
Right.
And it was clean. People picked up. People were polite. But it's the people in this industry.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of turds.
No. And, you know, I think, Friday we just kind of left our booth kind of as it was with Boss. And, you know, we had some shells still sitting out. We didn't, do a whole big pickup before we left on Friday. And somebody came back Saturday and was like, man, I can't believe you just left shells here, like out when y'all weren't after the show. And it's like, we don't have turds in this industry.
No,
like,
people in this crowds don't steal. I mean, there's going to be one bad apple every once in a while, but we don't worry about that stuff.
Right.
And that facilities that we're at in St. Louis is really nice. And we had a VRBO this time, and we stayed north 10 minutes away. And when you get across the Missouri River 10 minutes to the north side of St. Louis, you might as well be in Knox City, Texas.
Right.
I mean, there was nobody there. It was quiet and nice. We was right on the river. It was a great experience. Other than not feeling well on Saturday, it was an amazing day. We had a great time. We went to a cool pizza place, Dewey's Pizza, to eat, which is a chain. I didn't know that was a chain.
I'd never heard of it before, but
The pizza was excellent. We had a good time. Got to hang out with good friends Ryan Fox. Coach Houth went with us. Me, Tony, and Andy. I'll tell you what was really cool too, or not cool, just interesting. It's ironic that Friday morning before we left, I'm a big cash guy. I think everybody should have cash with them when they travel. I think everybody should carry a $100 bill in their wallet at all times.
fold it up, forget about it.
And don't use it. Don't do like Payne does. I give him one every year at Christmas when he comes home. I make sure he has a $100 bill. Well, I figured out all his trips in. He owes me $1,400 for the last 14 trips because he never has a $100 bill. But you never know. And Ryan Fox, my good friend, I love him. He's like another son of mine. them credit card machines ain't never going to go out. And I'll be gosh damn if an hour later the airlines were all shut down and a lot of credit cards weren't working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nickum came by and he's like, dude, the gas station down the road, cash only. I said, don't tell Jeff. I said, because we just had this conversation before we got here. I said, don't get him wound up. Just keep that in your back pocket. Nobody needs to know about it. But I guess a couple gas stations were cash only.
Yeah, because they used the Microsoft. I think it was Microsoft that got shut down. Yeah. Delta's still
fucked up.
I mean, 720 airline. Or this is Monday, and they still had 720 airlines canceled today.
Atlanta's a shit show. I've seen TikTok videos out of Atlanta, and I mean, they'll put you on a flight, and then 30 minutes before you're supposed to leave, oh, your flight's canceled.
That is just nuts.
People are still stuck in Atlanta
right now. There's been, as of at this very moment, there's been 747 flights canceled today by Delta. 20% of their flights nationwide are shut down.
Right.
That's a lot of flights. Mm-hmm. And people, boy, it just screws up everything.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, just big time, but it's all because of some Microsoft software that everyone's using, but it also shut down banks and everything. But anyways, I told them that day, and I just wanted to know how much money we had in case something happened. And between us, we had enough money to get home.
But you don't think that if the credit card machines can get hacked, that so can the pumps? To where the pumps don't work?
That's electric. They can pay in that inside. There might be some places that have some kind of Microsoft software that would have ran the pumps, but most places you can buy gas. You just have to pay cash. There's some places they can't open their fucking register.
Right.
I mean, it could be, you have to use some real math. Pen and paper. I'm on a thing where we had to budget in cyber protection. So these insurance companies, the cyber side of things, they have figured out that this is something that all organizations are going to need. So like it damn near doubled from what we've been paying. So this is a school thing?
No, it's not a school thing. I can't tell you what secret board I'm on, but these companies that protect you from cyber attacks have figured out like this is something that a lot of people are going to need, so we need to up our prices. Well, it damn near doubled. But in our discussion, the companies that hack you, they figured out that the ransom is about what it costs for you to fix it. So, they won't go to a company and be like, hey, we need $2 million or something like that.
If it's going to cost $73,000 to fix it, they're going to charge you $70,000, so you just pay them instead of paying the people to fix it.
Correct. So they know approximately like, okay, it's going to cost them $50,000 to fix this. We're going to ask for 45.
Pretty smart.
But the problem is once you've been hacked once, they start coming back to you. Like, is it a one-time thing? Or is this something that 2 years later they're going to be like, all right, we need that $50,000 again.
Didn't they found the first ones that did this?
Because that's what they did. Didn't they hack they hacked somebody's water treatment facility, like in the Metroplex, not too long ago?
Yeah, I knew that's what you were talking about, anyways.
Right.
But they talked about crypto. At one time, they would want you to pay them with crypto,
right?
Because it wasn't traceable,
right?
And then they found out that they can trace crypto, and they arrested the guys. But they hack websites and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, just and it's just whatever it's going to cost you to fix it. They're just a smidge under.
But yeah, once you open up that door, you're going to get it again
100%.
and again and again and again.
Yeah. So, and it's funny too. Now the insurance companies or whoever is in charge of your cyber protection, they're like, there's a money making thing for me.
They used to be able to go to a gas station and you'd buy. When I was a kid, it was common to buy $5 worth of gas.
Right.
Well, back then that would get you 7, 8, 10 gallons of gas. Nowadays it gets you a gallon and a half. So when we'd go out on Friday nights, we'd buy $5 worth of gas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 of us. We used to go out all the time, and we'd all take a $5 bill. We'd buy $5 in gas, $10 in beer, and then $5 left. But that's normally if when I was in high school, if I went out in the night, if I had $10 on me, that'd get me through the night.
Right.
Easy. And it just. But my point was, you could go buy gas, you get $5 of gas, you go buy it. You didn't use a credit card. Fucking didn't have a credit card. Debit. You didn't even have debit. There wasn't even such thing as a debit card. They turned the gas pump on, so you can still get gas. But it's a pain in the butt. Allsup's and Seymour, their pumps are down all the freaking time. You got to go inside and pay for it. And it's so fucking frustrating. I was tornado chasing and stopped there one day and had to get gas. Had to holler at somebody, tell them $40 because you don't want to buy too much. You know, I need 50 and I don't need $50 worth, but I knew 40 was enough. So give me $40, then I'll get us close to full. It's a pain in the butt to go inside to pay because I buy gas in Knox City at Penman's twice, 3 times a week during hunting season, 5-6 days a week. I don't ever go inside.
Card and drive away.
Never ever go inside at all.
Right.
Debit card, gas, and I'm on the road in 15 minutes filled up.
I cannot figure out what has happened with Buc-ee's. We stopped at a Buc-ee's in Springfield, Missouri.
Sucker's huge.
This fucking thing, it's a mile long, and it's got people shoulder to shoulder for the entire mile. It looked like people were going to a Mecca. That is Buc-ee's. People were walking around wide-eyed and just...
It's got to be a brand new one.
Can you believe that we've made it to fucking a gas station?
It's a destination. They've turned it into a destination.
How? It's a gas station.
Well, I don't know that answer. And I wish I did. And I wish I'd have been the person to think about it a long time ago. I remember the first Buc-ee's I went to was down by College Station and just happened to go to a pull in there. Didn't know nothing about it. And I had to go take a poop one in there. And I thought, man, these are damn nice rooms. You can play a football game in their bathroom.
There were people taking pictures outside of it for social media.
Yeah,
to just prove that they made it to Buc-ee's, a gas station.
Because people up north don't have them, and they're traveling that interstate, and it's summertime, and they stop with their families.
It's a gas station.
Well, it's not just a gas station.
It's a gas station. They sell gas and fucking snacks inside.
A lot of snacks. You can buy a whole meal in there.
It is a gas station. That's all it is, people.
They pay their employees good.
They do that, but don't act like you've made it to the Taj Mahal or something. Walking into Buc-ee's, walking past a little chipmunk outside and get your picture taken and upload it to Instagram, or film yourself checking out in Buc-ee's and uploading it to TikTok. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I've been to Buc-ee's, but even if I was from Montana and I didn't have a Buc-ee's within 17 states of me, I don't think I'm acting that way to walk into a gas station.
Would you stop, though, then, if you'd never been to one?
I was ashamed that we stopped at Buc-ee's on Thursday when we did. I walked outside and I was ashamed of myself.
We had to stop. I had to gas up.
All these fucking Nimrods running around with their phones out inside of Buc-ee's.
Well, you weren't doing that, but you go to them all the time.
But people saw me walking in and they're like, oh, here's another. Here's one of our kind. He's excited to be at Buc-ee's. It's like, no, I'm just here. I'm just here because I was riding and I was told we're stopping here and I got to take a piss. Don't lump me into your...
Did you buy any snacks?
Don't lump me into your weird shit. Oh, yeah, I bought the Buc-ee's, the beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets? Yeah, I've never had one.
I bought the beaver nuggets.
I've never had one.
I'm not going to pass up Buc-ee's and not get beaver nuggets.
Are they good? Are they good?
Yeah, they're it's a solid,
I've never had them.
Solid road trip snack. But
Have you seen the beef jerky aisle they have there?
Yeah, it's huge.
Could you imagine being the guy that's got the contract on making all that beef jerky?
You better come up with some odd flavors because there's probably 70 beef jerkies there.
That's crazy. I've never seen that much beef jerky anywhere.
I don't get the whole Buc-ee's crave.
They have the best boudin kolaches anywhere I've been.
They do?
They're very good. I personally think their chopped barbecue sandwich, and I'm going to catch shit from some people here. Their barbecue sandwich, chopped barbecue sandwich, is as good as any barbecue sandwich I've had anywhere. Anywhere at all. It's good bread. It's fresh. And they chop the shit right there and they wrap it up and people are out the door with them in 5 minutes. It's fresh and it's good and they sell a lot of them. I think they have a really good barbecue sandwich there. They have a great selection if you're a coffee drinker and all this stuff. We stopped on the way back on Sunday. And
thank God they weren't as busy.
No, but I went by the coffee bar there. They've got every kind of concoction flavor you can add to your coffee.
Right.
The man that makes them is a Texas Aggie. He is a genius.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret about barbecue.
Okay.
You can make barbecue in bulk, and if that shit doesn't sell, it can sit there. Barbecue's a little bit like chili. You need to be careful whenever you go buy barbecue or chili at a place that's open for 24 hours. Because that shit that don't sell, just slather it in barbecue sauce, put it in the warmer, and just keep it.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I watched them chop that shit up and wrap them sandwiches right there, and it's fresh and coming out all the time.
Okay, be careful.
Yeah, you never eat chili at a place that's open 24 hours a day because they just add to the pot.
Barbecue's a little bit of the same way. Oh, shit, this is getting a little dry. Put just a little bit more barbecue sauce on there and mix it up with some of that new shit, and We'll be good to go.
Well, they pre-do their sandwiches, so I don't think they're doing that. But they may be. I don't know. But anyways, their barbecue sandwich at Buc-ee's is very good.
And I would assume that Buc-ee's is under enough of a microscope that they've got a lot of health regulations. That's the reason Trump only eats McDonald's. You know that, right?
But it's because of their health regulations?
Yep. He says I can't get food poisoning because McDonald's is under such a microscope with all these health organizations and everything, and it's such a big franchise that anytime I go to McDonald's, I'm going to get good food that's safe to eat.
McDonald's is the most consistent of any place I've ever been.
But that's why he goes to McDonald's. That's why it's not because, you know, their burgers are so great. It's because they're too big to serve to make me sick.
What Buc-ee's has done also is they've turned that Indian convenience store that you go to that used to sell all the little knickknacks and shit
Right.
to a whole different level because they sell Columbia clothes there. They sell Yetis. They sell a lot of brand name stuff. They've got seasonal stuff in there. They've got local stuff. People can Christmas shop in there. I mean, they've got everything you need. You can buy a chair. You can buy a cooler, all the food, all the drinks. And if you're traveling, it's a great place to stop. And it has become a touristy type place. But man, I mean, how many gas pumps was there? 120 gas pumps?
Oh, too many.
120 islands.
Yeah.
So there's probably 480 pumps there.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of gas. I mean, it's a lot, and they were full.
Yeah, it was embarrassing to be there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I hate doing anything that the crowd is doing. Anything. I mean, we go past a Buc-ee's every time we leave the airport. I never stop there.
I stop probably every third trip there because I got to get gas on the way home.
Okay,
and
so
I'll stop and get gas.
I take that back. The last couple times we have, because at the end of any trip, I go to In-N-Out that's right there, and then I go back to Buc-ee's to fill up, and I eat my hamburger
Well, you're getting gas.
while I'm getting gas, and then I just leave.
I do that. Mom likes the boudin kolaches, so she'll go in and get kolaches. But Mom can't go in and just get a few things. She gets enough shit. We bring cookies home. We do all kinds of stuff. But they got a good selection. It's fresh food. It's good food. It's very, the restrooms are as clean as any restroom place you're going to go to in your life. And I like them because they got the stalls go all the way to the ground. So it's not like you can reach under your hand up there and ask the guy next to you for some paper.
Right.
It's like being in a cubicle. It's private. It's clean. They do a good job. They take care of their employees. I think
Manager, yes.
$175,000 a year.
Yeah,
They're people working there making $20 to $25 an hour. They say that's really, they've got a tight schedule. They work their people pretty hard, but they pay them well, and everybody seems to be no phones, and people seem to be very friendly. And that's something I would have too, is the no cell phone policy. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I think every workplace should be a no cell phone service. If you want to use your phone and it's work wise, like if you work for me and you have your phone, if I call you, you better answer your cell phone.
Sure.
Someone else calls you, you better wait till you're done. And I think that's a great way of doing things. I think every business, every factory ought to be that way. When you're on break, you can use your phone all you want to. When your break's off, you turn that phone off and you don't touch it again.
Right.
People seem to get along before cell phones real well and could work and live in a life without having to talk to their spouse all the time. Well, my wife may call me. Well, you're at fucking work. Tell her to call when you're on break, on lunch hour.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Why?
That far.
Why? If there's an emergency, she can call and talk to you. Wives didn't just call their husbands at work before cell phones just to shoot the shit and tell them about the yard guy came by. And
No,
stuff.
but you should be able to get a hold of if your kid breaks your arm.
Yeah, you call the office and you say, hey, have him call me. And they page you and you come up there. Oh, we've got an emergency. That's fine.
Right.
Nobody cared.
Right.
But just to call your wife or to text her during the day.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
I agree with that, but you should be able to get a hold of. Even in the factories, you could take a phone call.
I have a friend of mine whose dad worked at a factory in Wichita Falls. Good job. And I watched them one time have this dramatic call about the hot water heater screwing up. I'm at the house. She calls him. She says, hey, honey, our hot water heater, the bottom fell out of it in the flooding. Can you come home right now? I'm in the house. I'm looking around thinking, motherfucker, where the fuck's this fucking at? I'm looking. I don't see no water flood nowhere. And she got off the phone. My buddy said, yeah, she tells him that because sometimes Fred the boss might be listening to him at the phone. I thought, Jesus Christ.
Right.
You're 40-something years old, grown man, and you're having your wife lie about the hot water heater going out so you can come home from work because you want to come home early that day.
You got to work the system a little bit.
Well, he should just went and said, hey, I talked to my wife on my phone. My hot water heater went out. I need to get the house and stuff coming. But in case they were listening.
Yeah.
I thought, boy, you're working for some bad people if they're listening to your phone calls.
Packers GM Brian Gutekunst I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Jordan Love will not practice until the two sides can get the contract extension that they've been working on done.
Would you sign Jordan Love to $50 million a year?
Love's extension is expected to exceed $50 million per year.
Would you? I'm going to say no.
This is not a holdout. He's in the building and will participate in meetings. He just isn't taking the field until both sides can finalize the contract extension, which could happen very soon.
I'm asking you. Why would you not make him play out that contract?
Is this his last year and then they get a fifth-year option?
No. He signed. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. Last year, they signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal.
So his rookie deal was already done.
Yep, look it up. I think it's 2 years, $20 million is what his current pace is. He signed it cheap, but he had nothing to go by. Okay.
Right.
His first 8 games last year, he was terrible. They almost benched him.
Awful.
The last 8 games, he played really well, and he played well in the playoffs. I would make him play out that $10 million deal this year. And hear me out now. If you sign him to $50 million this year, you're losing $40 million. So if it costs you $40 million the next 4 years, you know what you're getting. So you're saying you're on the same money. I would make him play out his contract this year.
Love is due to earn $10 million base salary and count towards $12 million against the salary cap.
Okay. That's what I would make him do. We would be playing for $10 million this year. If you play great, you betting on yourself, and if you're good and you're worth $60 million, I'll give you 4 years at $250 million after this year. You're at the same amount of money that you're playing if you're paying him for 50 years for 5 years.
They agreed to a 1-year extension. It was a bit of a hedge for both sides.
Just now they did?
No. Last year is how they got to this deal.
Yep, I would make him play it out. Because I don't know what Jordan Love I'm going to get. If you get the Jordan Love for the first 8 games of the year, you're fucked because you've ruined your whole team for the next 5 years.
Right.
If he plays like he did last year, it's going to cost you more money, but it's going to be the same amount of money on the end. $10 million this year versus $250 million over 5 years. If you give him a raise and say, hey, I'll pay you $55 million a year for the next 4 years, then you come out ahead 10 or 20 million still.
Well, it doesn't matter what I think. It sounds like they're going to give him that extension. So
you're taking a big risk.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the first 6 games, it was subpar at best.
If he plays like he did last year, then they're in that's the market for a good starting quarterback.
Right.
But if he's not, then you're stuck with him for a long time because I'm assuming they're going to do a 4-year deal for around $200 million with about $160 million guaranteed, and you're stuck with that.
Or do you just lock it up for 10 years?
No.
Because isn't that what the Chiefs did with Mahomes?
Yeah, there's a big difference. Mahomes had won a couple of Super Bowls, and you knew what you were getting. If this kid's the last 10 games is the Jordan Love, then you're getting a good deal. But if it's the first 6 games and that's him, you're not getting a good deal. I don't know. I'm just saying I would play it safe and make him play out this year, knowing he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. I think they can still franchise him if they had to. I don't know why teams don't franchise quarterbacks 2 years in a row anyways.
Yeah, you got to keep the guy happy, though.
Making $50 million a year would be pretty fucking happy.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's got to be this loyalty thing. These guys are such divas anymore.
Well, Dallas Cowboys are over a barrel right now.
100%.
They screwed up on the deal with Dak. Do I think Dak's the greatest quarterback in the league? No. Do I think Dak's a top 10 quarterback? Probably so. Has he won any playoff games? No. The same as there's somebody else that hadn't won any playoff games too. Lamar Jackson, same guy. Hadn't won any playoff games. It's hard to pay a guy Super Bowl winning prices when he can't win a fucking playoff game.
Yeah, but you have to.
You do. But the Cowboys are over a barrel now because they've gotten to where they cannot franchise him no more and they can't trade him. So what are they going to do? Dallas can either cut Dak Prescott right now and start over with Trey Lance, or they can bite the bullet this year and hope to hell they either win the Super Bowl or he sucks. Because if he's good and they get beat in the first round of the playoffs again, then they're going to have to pay him $60 million for the next 4 years, guaranteed money, to get him to walk through that door.
Mm-hmm.
And he can leave without any compensation for the team.
It's just such a weird dynamic. Like if you just don't suck and you can get in that top half of all the quarterbacks, if you can be the top 16 quarterback, you're going to set a deal at the end of your contract that's going to reset the market.
That's right. But
doesn't make sense. I think more teams need to let quarterbacks walk.
But if Dak,
like Justin Herbert, we talked about Justin Herbert on the way.
Has Justin done nothing to justify.
No, he's got great stats. He's a great regular season quarterback. Has he even been to a playoff game?
Yeah, they've got beat every time. I think 2 years in a row they gotten beat.
The Chargers, I mean, he's just good enough not to lose his job. But didn't he reset the market a couple years ago?
Probably so.
But he's just good enough.
Dak Prescott's the same way.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yes. I agree with you 100%.
But you look like a jackass if the Chargers let Justin Herbert go and he goes and signs with the Patriots, let's say, and he wins with the Patriots, the Chargers fan base is always going to say, we had that guy. Same with Dak. Dak's a good quarterback. If Dak goes to San Francisco and they are the San Francisco that they are with Brock Purdy, Dallas is going to be like, we had that guy, and we let him go.
If Dak left today, Dak would end up either with the with the Denver Broncos, the New York Giants, or Seattle Seahawks is where he would probably end up. One of those three teams. He goes there and wins a Super Bowl, then the Cowboy fans will everywhere be the same. But where Dallas is screwed up is they've letting him get all the leverage now where they can't trade him. They can't do shit. So he's playing out this year. If he has a good year, he's going to rob the bank with them. They have to. And if they can't afford it, then they got to. Dallas also, one of Dallas' biggest problem is they've drafted really well. So they got all these guys that draft picks or contracts coming up. And they can't let them go either. I mean, are you going to let Micah Parsons and CD Lamb go for the same amount of money you can keep Dak?
Right.
That's the same. Actually, it's more than that. CD Lamb, Dak, and Quandre, or the Diggs guy. What's his name? Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Quandre, maybe is that his name?
I can't remember.
Those three guys are going to make what Dak Prescott is going to make. So who are you signing, 3 or 1?
Right.
The best thing you can do is hope you hit on a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. But they don't draft quarterbacks.
Well,
I guess
no,
they got that Trey Lance kid.
They didn't draft him.
I know, but they
him.
traded for a younger kid, though.
But do you think San Francisco really thought he was that good they would have traded him?
No. And they had a lot invested in him.
3 first-round draft picks.
So
Football's crazy, especially with quarterbacks.
Uh-oh. I guess things are getting heated on Capitol Hill right now.
No, I'm sure that she's I don't know. That's the biggest joke in
You're
the
full
world.
of shit today.
Whoa.
You're just being completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman,
Completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman,
Chairman, I want to.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
We have to
continue.
maintain decorum in this committee,
Any-
no matter how
Have you provided
upset we
any
get.
and all memos to this committee that we've asked you on July 15th? Have you provided all memorandums within the Secret Service?
I would have to get back to you on
That
that.
is a no. You're being dishonest or lying. Like you're being
What's the
dishonest
difference?
here with this committee. These are important questions that the American people want answers to, and you're just dodging and talking around it in generalities. And we had to subpoena you to be here, and you won't even answer the questions. We have asked you repeatedly to answer our questions. This isn't hard. These are not hard questions.
I would have to get back to you.
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being.
Telling you what.
They've had them people got tons of pressure on them from their voters. The Republican voters have had enough of this crap. They almost killed our guy, and most of us think that it was an inside job. And the more I hear about it, the more I'm starting to think it's an inside job. Now, I don't think that this kid was on some kind of fucking payroll or nothing, but I think they made it lax in case, hoping something was going to happen.
Right.
They can't beat the guy. They're either going to cheat him or kill him, and I think that's what they're doing.
Well, the 13th was the first time Trump rally has been televised by CNN.
Yeah, something's going on. It was all.
You had maybe you can talk a little bit more about this. You had, I can't remember who shorted the Truth Social app. Just like they
George
shorted,
Soros was involved in that, and it was.
they shorted the airlines 9/10 of 2001.
Yeah, did you hear what they did on the Trump deal though?
No.
They said they screwed up and they accidentally shorted it 10,000 times more than they were supposed to. So you're telling me a guy working in your office was supposed to put in an order for 1,000 shares to short Trump stock. Let's short it just in case he don't get elected.
Right.
But then we automatically screw up and we do 1 million shares of it. Yeah, something was. Nobody would have caught that, huh?
Right.
Who the fuck just ordered 1 million shares to be shorted? What? No, it's supposed to be 1,000.
Right.
But that's what they did.
I added a bunch of extra zeros.
But that's what
Right.
and so that's their answer. So George Soros should be investigated, and the people that shorted that. Whoever shorted that stock should have to come up and ask questions.
Right. So, yeah, there's just a lot that doesn't make sense. I mean, really. It's a slanted roof. And then you see videos of the snipers that have them in his sight. They're on a even more slanted roof than the guy.
You know who also had the 3 big people that did the shorting? BlackRock, Vanguard,
State
and George Soros.
Oh.
Or State Street. those groups right there are the ones that shorted all of it.
Right.
Who controls the Democratic Party? Those same people.
Right. What do you think about the Biden letter not having the official seal of the White House?
I don't give a shit.
Whenever you saw Nixon's letter up at the top, seal of the White House.
He's president.
I understand that. No, I know that.
I don't.
But is this an official document that we just read? I mean, all he did was tweet it out.
I think it's more of your white hats on the Trump side trying to say that he's not the legitimate president. Why he don't have a flag with a gold emblem or crest on it and all this other shit. I think it's irrelevant.
But not that. But maybe he didn't write it.
Oh well, that wouldn't surprise me. He can't.
Maybe this did not. I shouldn't say he didn't write it because he didn't write any of his shit. Maybe it did not come from him.
If you go to that nursing home in town and you go to the dementia wing up there and you go talk to 6 different people, it's not much different than dealing with Joe Biden. And I'm not being rude about Joe Biden at all. I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I really do. I think Joe Biden was a real piece of shit when he was younger. No doubt about it. He was a crooked ass politician, like 99% of them are in Washington, D.C. But he does not have a clue what's going on around him right now. They pump him up with shit. They send him up there. He reads off a teleprompter. He walks back home, eats a popsicle, and goes to bed.
Hunter Biden drops lawsuit against Fox News. Breaking to just yesterday.
Hunter Biden
He's out of money.
Is in big trouble. Hunter Biden is going to go to prison. I still believe that's going to happen. His dad, politics are cutthroat business. Mm-hmm. And when you lose your leverage up there and you're of no use to anybody else up there, they're going to fucking shit all over you. That's what they're doing to Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. And to Hunter. The Biden family as a whole is done. They have no use for the Democratic Party no more. They're not an asset to them anymore. They're going to get rid of them completely. You said it the other day that you think Joe Biden will disappear and we'll never hear from him again. I think that's already happened.
Oh, really?
I really do. I mean, they haven't heard from him in 24 days. It's radio silence. I think that's done. Or 24 hours. I think he's done. Who knows? We actually are going to have an empty suit for president if they keep him around for 4 more months. Mm-hmm. Other than he's going to sign some executive orders from his house that no one's going to see him doing. Mm-hmm. There's going to be no checks and balances on him, and that's how it's going to end.
What a time to be alive. I'm excited.
Boy, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm scared to death for my grandkids' futures.
What a time, though.
Our whole world is... I think we're going to see the complete destruction of the United States of America in the next 30 years. Completely. I think the United States of America will be dissolved into 3 or 4 different countries is what's going to end up happening. There's going to be some places that you'll be able to live in the U.S. that will be absolutely amazing, and there'll be others that will be nothing more than drug-riddled, infested San Francisco. I really do. I think there's a lot of dark times coming for our country unless someone gets in there that can get everything on the right course. And the first step would be to get rid of every fucker in Washington, D.C. just about. Because those people, Joe Biden, 50 fucking years in politics. Mm-hmm. And people, he has served so good in selflessness for our country. If you think them fuckers in Washington, D.C. are serving for you, you've lost your damn mind.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. There ain't a politician out there that's doing that job for the United States. They're doing it for themselves.
Few were conducting head-to-head polls beyond Biden-Trump. That's about to change. A rare Zogby poll 10 days ago looked like this. Trump 51, Harris 49. RFK Jr. 57%, Trump 43. Trump head-to-head against Newsom and Whitmer are coming in the near future. That is according to the Zogby poll, which I have never heard of. So I don't see how
RFK is not beating Trump.
I don't see how Kamala gets 49%.
No. Well, they're just going by the Democratic vote of just it's going to be close. That's pretty normal, 51 to 49. I mean, she's going to, but you got to think about this. That's 51 to 49. Now that's a poll probably with 10,000 people taken. But if you throw in the New York and the California votes, the mass votes, it's going to be close to 51 to 49 because she's going to win 62% of the vote in New York and 62% of the vote in California. Well, that takes up about 15 or 16 different states worth of votes.
CBS News has it Trump 51, Harris 48. Yeah. Rear Clear Politics average has Trump plus 1.9.
Yeah. But the Electoral College knocks a lot of that out.
Right.
I mean, Trump's going to win Texas. They're going to win California. You know? He's going to win Texas by 5 million votes. He's going to probably win California by 10 million votes. Well, they're like, well, he's 5 million more people won him. Well, but they go by electoral college.
Do you think that they go get a guy like Mitt Romney for the Democratic ticket?
Boy, I wish they would so we can get rid of that motherfucker.
Get rid of him for good?
Fuck yeah. He'd have to resign from being a Republican congressman. Best thing happened to us.
Because that was one of
Or
the things,
senator.
wasn't it?
He's a senator, right?
I don't know what he
I
is.
think he's a senator from Utah now.
That
yeah,
was
he's
one of the
worst.
rumors yesterday.
Yeah, he's a piece of crap. It made sense, though. You know, they think that, I mean, and that's the deal. They think they'll keep all their Democratic voters and they'll sway some Republican voters. I don't think Mitt Romney could win in Utah today.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I mean, kind of like Liz Cheney.
Right.
So, I do not know. It's they're all crooks. I mean, it's America versus the parties. That's what this election has come down to. You want to vote for America, you vote for Donald Trump. If you want to vote for the DNC and George Soros and all that other shit, and Vanguard and State Street and BlackRock and crooked ass Ukraine and all that stuff, then vote Democrat, because that's what you're voting on. That's what our vote has come down to. You want to vote for America and the factory workers, the truck drivers, the electricians, the hunting outfitters, people that fought for this country, that love our country, then you vote for Donald Trump. If you want to vote for all that other bullshit, you vote for the left, because that's what it's come down to.
That lady that called Cheadle full of shit, she said at the beginning of her questioning, would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter? She said, no, thank you. So,
She should resign.
coming for blood.
But there's a lot of people that should resign up there. But they almost got a president killed because of incompetence. There's no way that can be that stupid, everybody. That had to be an inside deal. It's just not fucking possible. The kid flew a fucking drone up.
Right.
Do you remember when no, it wasn't you. It was me and Mom. Me and Mom went and watched Old Hein Rider play their last football game last year. I know this has absolutely nothing to do with politics. But someone was flying a drone over Memorial Stadium. 20,000 people at the stadium. And they come across the loudspeaker and they said, UIL rules in the state of Texas forbid anyone from flying a drone over the football field. Please put it down right now or the police will be called to your scene. Blah, 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 blah. Did it twice.
Right.
But you can fucking fly it over where a president's fixing to be and nobody says nothing to you?
Right.
Just seems a little fake. Don't that seem a little weird to you?
It does. It does. I wonder if Biden is dead.
That actually is a good question.
That's what a lot of people are
I figured I was going to kill him.
starting to say on Twitter.
Well,
It's weird. Nobody's seen the guy.
I read on
Nobody's
Twitter
seen or
today
heard
that
from him.
his inside people say he is pissed off.
I bet he probably
Woke up, found out he fucking resigned.
found out on Twitter he's not the guy anymore.
If he's going to be a pain in their ass, then he will have a stroke or something.
Right.
They're ruthless people.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are fucking ruthless.
Right.
I mean, you got to think about this. John F. Kennedy won a very heated election.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats loved him. The people on the right were not big fans of his. But he still was America's president. A lot of people liked him. Kamala comes to the U.S. or whatever they said and all that shit. They loved the man. But he did not go with their stuff on some of the Federal Reserve stuff, so they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the reason JFK was assassinated? Was it Federal Reserve? Or was it because he was against going to Vietnam and spending a bunch of money for the war machine?
Probably more that than it was the Federal Reserve.
But
They figured out how profitable war could be.
and he was standing in the way of that, so they killed him.
Yeah.
What did Donald Trump not have us in his 4 years in office?
Wars.
That's right. So they were losing money on that. As soon as he gets out, what happens? World goes to shit again.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a story I heard, and I'm trying to find out what it was. I think it might have been about invading Cuba.
They think the Cuban mafia was involved with that because he did not go along with the Bay of Pigs deal, and he didn't fly in special forces he was supposed to do to help them overthrow Castro.
Obviously, I'm not going to find it that easily.
I got to piss.
That's fine. We can wrap up.
All right, let's call this one in here. We got another podcast in the morning. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Hope a great week. We'll be at Delta at Baton Rouge. Come by the Boss booth and see us and check out some of that new Steel Reserve.
Hunting season is here, boys and girls, so it is time to start. We'll be seeing you guys ramping everything up. Love you. Bye. Watch for deer. Check out all of our sponsors. Go check out Mitch Hall Chevrolet if you're in the area and need a new Chevrolet. Mallard Bay, Double T British Kennels, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Hemp Hill Farm. Use our promo code BHP, Ducks Unlimited, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, promo code BHP25, Boss Shot Shells, and MLR Graphics.